Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is the latest Dreamworks animated film, so let's see if it's worth your time. Hey everybody, my name's Justin here. I try to watch everything that hits theaters and on streaming services. If you guys are like me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and click that bell notification for more up and coming content. Ruby Gillman is a sweet and awkward high school student who discovers she's a direct descendant of the warrior Kraken queens. The Kraken are sworn to protect the oceans of the world against the vain, power-hungry mermaids. Destined to inherit the throne from her commanding grandmother, Ruby must use her newfound powers to protect those she loves the most. Dreamworks had a really good year last year with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, so going into this latest Dreamworks animated film, I had high hopes that it could continue their streak of pretty solid movies. And I do think that Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken is alright. It's not the best Dreamworks animated film. I would say it's like more so in the middle of their 45 films that they have made.
Holy moly.
This movie could use just a little more. When you look at the animation, it works. The characters are likable. This movie has an important message of self-discovery, accepting who you are. She is a high school student that is a Kraken.
Release the Kraken!
But she's goes to high school and no one questions that she looks different than everybody else, and she just kind of hides who she is, and she hides that she is a Kraken. And so a lot of the film is centered on that self-discovery and acceptance as well, and having other people accept you as well. She's different than everybody else, but there has to be a certain point where she accepts who she is, and then and other people will accept her as well. And so I think the movie could have used a little more of that, because it started off really nicely with all of that and her not wanting to hide who she is and wanting to just live a normal life. And then when we deal into the mermaid aspect of it all, and her realizing that she is a descendant of the Kraken queens, and then you have like this plot to try to find this trident as well. That's where the movie starts to shift its focus and being like this big battle between the Kraken and the mermaids. When it started off very nicely, it started off with a really personal film of Ruby trying to figure out who she is and wanting to be accepted as well. And then when it started to shift into learning who her grandmother is, and then understanding her abilities, being a Kraken, she's still trying to figure out who she is when she realizes that she is a Kraken. But then you have another story on top of that that deals with the mermaids and protecting the oceans against the mermaids. And so middle half of this movie, it starts to lose its focus and tries to be something different than its initial setup. And the initial setup is very strong for it. I do like Ruby Gillman and her mother and her father and her younger brother and the students that she goes to school with. A lot of fun, likable characters within this movie. And even the mermaid that is introduced in this film, she's fun to watch as well. I just wish it was stronger personal story for Ruby and the journey that she goes through, because it is an important message for children to watch. And I think that they really highlighted her learning her abilities of being a Kraken, but then you start to throw in some other aspects of the story, and it shifted its focus. And I enjoyed more of the beginning of the film rather than the end of the movie. The animation in here looks really good. It's very bright. This small town near the ocean is beautiful. Dreamworks has really good animated films. Their stories are not the best, but this is a solid looking film. The character designs are very clean. The color to them are very vibrant. It's very shiny and out there, and I like the style to it. Almost looks like it's a clay almost, but 3D as well. So I really like the animation within this movie, and there are some pretty fun jokes within this movie, enough to keep you entertained. Mishaps along the way for Ruby when she learns that she is a Kraken, things that she encounters, obstacles along the way. I also like the development between mother and daughter within this film. It kind of feels a little bit like Turning Red and a little bit of Brave as well. It wasn't the focus of the movie, but it was done in a meaningful way as the mother went through all of this as well when she learned that she was a Kraken, so she could easily relate to her. So trying to find that common ground and watch that relationship grow was a highlight of the movie as well. It wasn't, like I said, the biggest part of the film, but it was nice when it was introduced. Now, big action scenes at the end, the Kraken and mermaid, we've seen it in the trailers. It's very thrilling. It takes up a lot of the end of the movie, and there are some fun action scenes. I feel like the animation is handled well with those scenes to make it look really large compared to our small village and all of the people within it. But overall, Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, was lacking something to make it very personal and emotional. The characters are enjoyable. Watching her journey, discovering who she is, her friends, her family. There's a lot of likable characters. There's this sailor voiced by Will Forte that wants to find the Kraken, and so he's pretty funny within this film. And overall, the voice acting in here is really good. We have Lana Condor, who voices Ruby Gillman, and Jane Fonda's in here. Annie Murphy, Toni Collette. It's got a pretty impressive voice cast. The visuals are really good, one of their better looking animated films, but it just was lacking something to make it a strong film. So before I give you my score for Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer actions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit the subscribe button to get it all in one spot. And if you'd like to see where Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken ranks amongst all the other 2023 releases I've seen this year, follow me on Letterboxd, and there you can find my ranking. I'm going to go ahead and give Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken a C+. Thank you guys for checking out my review for Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, the new Dreamworks animated film. Have you guys seen it by chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below, and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.